So Jeremy, can you tell us more about what your first project was like? How did you get your first professional project? Like, what work did you do beforehand, before that, to be able to gain that credibility? And also,
We
once you
talk.
got it, how did you go about it?
Are we talking first professional project?
Doesn't need to be in a
Like
company, can be freelance as well.
like first professional company ever?
Yeah,
Like
either first job at a professional company ever, or like first freelance project ever.
okay. My first freelance project ever was I was working for a startup in Northern Virginia, um, and they needed a site for their like startup venture and all that stuff. So that was my first ever. I'm pretty sure I was like a junior in college. Uh, and that was my first ever like time doing anything like that. So I was like new to it all and didn't know what exactly was going on.
Like,
Um, but it was just basically they wanted to have a site for their new startup. And so I think I interviewed on like a Friday, and then I started that like Tuesday, and built the site, showed it to them in like a week, and they like loved it enough that they hired me on full time to do their actual site too. So then I got to redesign the actual site homepage and
like,
do all the fixings, like develop it and code it. And that's sort of what allowed me to see more that I don't really like this coding stuff as much as I thought I did. Um, and I realized like I enjoy way more the design part of it all and like the thinking through it.
like,
Um, and that's what sparked me to realize that if I were to pursue a career in web development, I wouldn't be happy, and I needed to find something that could please that sort of passion to just like create. Uh, and so instead of like teaching myself what I thought I needed to learn, I actually applied to grad school, and I ended up going to it's called the VCU Brand Center, and the track I'm in is called Experience Design. And that track, before going in, I saw that it combined both of the things that I wanted to learn, so like the more technical side of design, and also the physical aspect of it. Was such a broad topic as experience design. Like, there's so much different
yeah,
avenues you can get into with that, and I like the sort of freeness that the program had. So I said, great, this is the way you're going to be able to actually figure out if this hunch that you have that design is what you want to do is, the right thing. So I went on in, got in, and I started 2 years ago. And so I'm about to end up my degree like next week, actually.
nice. So Jeremy, so exactly like you said, it started off with the interview, right? So how did you get the interview in terms of, or did you approach to the client or to the prospective client, or with some work beforehand? And if you showed some work beforehand to land up with the interview, like what was the pitch? How did you approach?
hmm This was actually before I even understood anything about like portfolios or building a book or anything like that. This was maybe like 3.5 years ago when I did this. Um, and basically, I just went into the office and just started talking and like talked about, what my passions were, what I was interested in doing, showed them. I think I had just built my first portfolio site. So I showed them that and I walked them through like how I made it. And they had like a little animation of me like, excuse me, moving in a astronaut suit up and down. Real like scrappy. Um, but I showed them that, and he was just like blown away. And so it was really just more like talking. I definitely think like talking and relating to him, and actually figuring out gathering what they needed
Right.
um, from the jump, definitely like helped me navigate that conversation. Because, like I said, this was my first time ever doing any sort of like web development for someone that wasn't myself. So I think just by talking and like learning about their company through the interview, I was able to sort of field my questions in certain ways to basically do like a
It was more like showing, letting the client know what you have in mind of how you can improve their product or or like their design and add value to it. And once they are
yeah,
convinced, they are like they're on board. That yeah, why not?
yeah. Basically, it was just asking like a bunch of questions, almost as if I was doing a like user interview and
Right.
just figuring out what their sort of pain points were with their site now and what they wanted to do in the future and like speaking to that through like my one or two examples that I had. So I was really just like throwing everything I had in to get this opportunity, but it ended up working out and I had a great, I think I stayed there for like a little bit over a year and a half.
Yeah.
I stayed there right before I got another internship, but it was just that was great, and I think that definitely instilled in me just the need to like understand when coming to interviews. Like you're not only getting interviewed, but you're interviewing them too, and it showed me that the most important part is asking the right questions and
Correct.
sort of like leading them down the path of imagination,
Right.
so you can better express to them, what you can deliver on your end to them as well.
Absolutely.